Well, on this show, I can practically go anywhere I want to go in Maryland and Pennsylvania. Armstrong lets me do that, and that's really good. It's exciting, meeting new people and seeing new things, and I wanted to do something different, someplace more exciting, more interesting, someplace that might even be more refreshing. So here I am at the Fiore Vineyards, and you're on location. I'll let you in on a little secret. I've had to prepare for these programs in a lot of different ways. One of the ways is by going online and reading about my guest or reading about the area where I'm going to be doing the interviewing. I can read books, I can read pamphlets. This is the first and only time I've had to drink wine before I did the show. And I did that. I came out and visited with Mike and his wife Rose, and I bought a bottle of wine because I wanted to see what it was really all about. So that's how dedicated I am in bringing you a good program today. You already know we're at Fiore Vineyards in Pylesville, Maryland. And Mike, thank you for being on the show with me today.
Well, thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. You know, we only have a limited time, so there is so much history and background and fascinating things we can talk about in associating with the Fiore Vineyards. But if you will, when did it all start, or how did it all start?
Well, it started by me coming to this country. Okay, yeah. I had an argument with my mother. I slammed the door of my house and I told her I never wanted to see another vineyard as long as I lived.
Well, that didn't work out.
No, it didn't. But it was until about almost 15 days later, or maybe even longer, I was in Naples, and there was a ship called Leonardo da Vinci.
Mm-hmm.
It was leaving Naples for New York, and somebody told me that. And all of a sudden, I became 21.
From 18 to 21,
I went
overnight.
From 18 to 21 in a couple hours.
Yeah.
Naples is a city that you can buy anything you want. You know, everything is available. So anyway, I became 21, and I got my passport. I got my visa, because you had to have a visa pass from the consul. And May the 3rd, 1962, I was in New York. I was, I had a small suitcase with some clothes and $20 in my pocket. I went to visit this friend of ours that lived in Boston,
Mm-hmm.
actually Brighton, Massachusetts.
All right, close enough.
Yeah, not too far. And they always used to come in little vacation and tell us, hey, if you ever come to America, look me up. Guess what? He got a phone call, said, I'm here. So I went over there and I stayed with him, and he gave me a job. He had an industry, and I worked with him.
And then when you were in that area, you met somebody important in your life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I met my wife, Rose. 3 months later, we were married. Well, she shocked everybody.
Yeah.
You know, especially my family in Italy.
And you were from Italy, and she was born in Italy, but you had to meet in Boston.
Yes.
There you go.
We were almost from the same town.
Uh-huh.
Okay, well, they're actually the junction town. And I was from San Biase, she was from Nicasio. But now what they did is they put 3 little towns together, and they created one single city they call La Mezzia Terme, where they got a university, they got an airport, they got a lot, you know, now it's almost like a little metropole, which when I left over there was a 2-mule town, you know.
So how did you and Rose, after you exchanged vows, how did you get from the Boston area to Maryland?
Well, my sister was over here in Maryland, but I had an offer to meet somebody from California that he had made me an offer to, you know, in his winery. And I actually met him, and we met at the in Baltimore, the Omni Hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we talked about it for quite a while, and I decided, hey, I want to get away. One business that never did me any good. I'm going to go crazy over this. This is, you know, I enjoy life as it is. But by coincidence, I got a job with the Baltimore Gas and Electric.
Yeah, but that's not grapes, yeah.
Yeah, it's no grapes.
Grapes,
Yeah,
yeah.
I would do anything but grapes. But unfortunately, to me, have dinner without a glass of wine was very uncivilized. So, and the wines that I liked, I couldn't afford them.
Mm.
The ones that I could afford them, I despised them. And so I had to make my own. And for a while I did. I used to buy grapes from California and make my own wine. And that, you know, it was, but even California back in them days didn't have those Italian varieties that I love. You couldn't find a Barolo or Barbaresco or a Nebbiolo, you know, or Sangiovese as far as that goes.
I'm glad you know all this wine business because I'm not the wine expert, folks. I'm not the wine expert. This is the wine expert right here. So you're in Baltimore and you're raising a family and you decide to move out to Harford County.
We were looking for we had two boys, two sons, and both of them were very athletic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Anthony, the younger one, he was a straight A student. This kid he loved, you know, school in some way. Since a little kid, he was saying, you know, he wanted to go to Georgia Tech because he wanted to be a chemical engineer. Okay, so we decided to, you know, let's move out in the country. And we found this place over here. It was close to the church.
Yeah.
And it was close to the school, North Hartford High School, and the middle school and all that. So I said, this is a perfect location. Plus, I have a nice little piece of land that the kids can have a horse. And we did. We had horses, we had cows, we had animals. And we were almost like living in you know, in a farm life. And it was fun. It was heaven here on earth.
And you could grow a few grapes for your own personal use.
Yeah, just a little
Just
bit.
for
just
you.
To put a little, just
Yeah,
to put a
just-
glass of wine
just
on the
to-
table.
just-
That's
just
it.
for Mike and
Because
Rose, yeah.
my wife would
Yeah.
not sit on the table without a glass of wine.
Just for you guys. yeah. Uh-huh.
So,
Yeah.
and that's the way it was. It was just you know, and then disaster happened. You know, we lost Anthony over here at North Hartford High School.
Yeah, how old was he?
16.
He was 16, yeah.
He had done great that year, you know, come home with straight A's. And I had kidded around with him before. Said, if you come back with straight A's again next year, I said, I'll send you an Italy vacation for the summer. And of course he did, and I had to keep my word, you know. He went to Italy and he spent some time in Venice over there with my brother, and then he visited some family in Rome, and he visited some finally went up in Calabria. But he met other kids from the same age, and he played on a soccer team over there. So he was extremely happy with that because he found somebody he could play. So over there they call calcio, you know, it's not soccer like we call it here. But he came back, and because he wanted to come back sooner because they had the school practice. And he went to the first game. Well, after, you know, the practice, they were running, and this young boy that was running with him told me that he saw him grabbing his throat. They had two ambulances and the paramedic and everybody was standing right there. But according to what the doctors would tell me, he said, the kid died within 3 seconds. You know, he died so fast.
So
you never know what hit him.
So your son's passing just changed your life.
It changed everyone.
Yeah.
My life, my wife. It became unbearable.
Yes, I imagine.
I mean, the worst thing was coming home from work. could do that.
But then you had an idea.
Well, I figured I'm going to plant some grapes because I know how much attention the grapes need, and there would be something that would make me so busy that it won't give me time to think.
That's right.
Okay, and after work, I would be out there working in this little vineyard, and I would be so tired that when I come inside the house, I would just, I don't even ever watch television, just go to bed. That's it, ready for another day's work. And I guess this probably pulled me through, okay, and also have to say a lot of faith, trust God, that helped me.
But then in 1986 was the official beginning of your empire.
Well, what happened? We had planted this little larger vineyard now, and it still was not really that much to go in the grape business, okay? And this guy from Virginia, he was trying to give me a job over his place. So he asked me, said, well, I'll come over there. And see. So I went over there to see him. I said, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go back to Maryland and to Pylesville, and I'm going to open up my own little winery. And he said, listen, if you want to make $1 million in the wine business, start with 5.
Yeah.
I left right on his face because I didn't have any money at all. He said, you got to be kidding me. You know, we had to borrow $50,000 just to do what we done. So anyway, we converted this building, which was a horse barn, into a winery.
Yeah.
And we started by making 1,500 gallons of wine. Well, I must done something right because.
So what'd you start out with? With a white and a red wine? That was it.
That is it. Vino Bianco and Vino Rosso. No imagination whatsoever. No.
Well, as an aside, my uncle once owned a lunch stand at Letchworth State Park in New York State.
Uh-huh.
And he only had 2 kinds of ice cream there, chocolate and vanilla.
Vanilla. That's it.
So that was like what you did.
Yeah. You know, I mean, I didn't even have enough imagination. We didn't even talk long enough to give him a name, okay? Because we called Vino Rosso and Vino Bianco.
Yeah.
But he sold within 3 months.
Yeah.
You know, right after Christmas, we were out of wine. I said, and my wife looked at me and said, you know, we had more wine before we went in the wine business than now, okay, you know.
Yeah.
So because we had to go in the kitty over there to get some of the wines that we had saved for years to have wine with our dinner. But anyway, we kept on growing and growing and growing, and so we did that. Of course, without Anthony, we had to get rid of all the horses because Anthony used to take care of the horses. So everything went through the grapes. And in the meantime, I met a gentleman by the name of Hank Mowbray. He had a vineyard in Westminster, and but he knew of us, and he gave me a lot of inspiration. Okay, and not too long through him, I met a lot of other people because that were in the business, and I got introduced to this French harbor. Okay, that actually they give us the start. Back in them days, we didn't have the knowledge that we have today. We didn't have the chemicals that we have today in order to be able to grow grapes on miserable weather like we had this year. But anyway, French Harbor was more, tolerable for the, this climate. And we did that. And I got introduced, Dick Neller from Stewartstown. He introduced me to Chambourcin. He's the guy that introduced me to Chambourcin. And I started working with this grape, and it took me quite a while before I get to where I wanted to go. And all of a sudden I came up with this brainstorm ideas, ripasso. Ripasso is when you take in one grape and you're using the skins of another grape to ferment it. Mm-hmm. I know that this method of fermentation was done in the Veneto of Italy, very successfully. And I drank some really fantastic wine made like that. The problem with Chambourcin is that, you know, it fools you. When you run an analysis on this, you'll see that it's got a lot of nice acid. That acid is not that nice because most of that acid is malic. What you want tartaric acid.
But that's the wine I took home.
Right. But,
And it was wonderful.
oh, yeah, because the way I changed the acid around, okay? What did we use? We used a Cabernet Sauvignon skins which they got a lot of tartaric acid to ferment this Chambourcin over.
Well, you've moved on, Mike. You have, what, if I got half of this right, fusion wines, varietal wines, the Cabernets, the Chambourcin, as you said, the Chardonnay, and then you've also gone into distilling so many different things now. You've got the whiskey and the vodka. And,
I mean, everything that, you know, happened, it was like almost like a coincidence.
Yeah.
Okay? This young man, John Sullivan, he has sort of a doctor. He was with economic development over here in Harford County. And he came over here one day and he said, this was right after I had won the big competition of my career on the Eastern International. And
let me stop you. I walked in through the tasting area.
Yeah.
Do you have all the gold medals for wine making in the world in there, or don't you?
Oh, yeah.
It looks that way to me.
yeah,
I mean,
and we got a bushels of them.
You've got bushels that you haven't displayed. You're modest. You're a modest man.
Well, you know, it makes you feel good, you know, to win a medal for approximately 20 minutes.
Yeah.
After that, you say, now what are you going to do with that now? Okay. I mean, we have steady customers that come in over here on a regular basis to buy my product. And they don't ask you how much metal this wine has.
No,
they don't.
How it tastes.
They drink it. If they like it, they buy it. If they don't, they say, you know,
And
give me another one.
They vote at the cash register.
That's correct.
That's
yes,
right.
That's what. But it's still, you know, it makes you feel good, and it makes your friends from out of town know that you're still doing this. Because they hear about the people that they hear the most about you winning a big award. You know, they're the people that actually are the same business as you are. You know.
In the little bit of time we have left, we have to mention the fact that at your winery, you have daily tastings, you have function rooms.
What should that be?
What? A bee's going to sting me?
I
On
hope
TV?
not.
How dare
Yes.
I? Can't do that.
You can't do
Okay, I was just saved on television. And so we've got the tastings, we've got the facilities for all sorts of functions. You can take care of 1,000 people outside on a nice day. All of these things are happening here at the Fiore Vineyards here in Pylesville.
Yeah, that part of it there, I think, belongs to my wife. She's very friendly person that people happen to like her a lot.
Yeah, people around here all know Rose. Yes,
Yeah,
yes, they do.
And she worked for many years for First National Bank, but you know everybody knows her from the bank, you know. So, but yeah, she's a very friendly person, and you know that's part of it. I mean, this is what I expect my employees to do. Okay, I like to treat everybody with respect, and even if they don't treat you with respect, if you treat them with respect, you feel good inside.
And what's really a thrill for somebody, and again, forgive me, I'm not the consummate wine expert in any way, shape, or form, but it's really so good to know that a winery like this is right here in northern Harford County, and that it's renowned. I will say it. I know you're too much, but it's renowned practically worldwide for the quality of the wines, and you certainly are known locally as solid citizens and a great place to come for the wine tastings and the music weekends that you have and everything else.
Well, one of the most funny things that happened to me one time was I got a phone call, two ladies from England. You can see this really strong British accent.
Yeah.
They wanted to come over and visit us, and I said, the door is open, come on in, you know. And they did. They come in the middle of the week, and actually they went to the, wow, look at them birds over there, really having a feast with my grapes. Anyway.
Wait, the birds eat your grapes,
Yeah.
the deer eat your grapes.
Yeah,
I'm thinking the hunter that gets the deer that's been eating your grapes is going to have some amazing venison.
Absolutely. He's got to have at least a little bit of fruit with it.
Yeah, I know.
But anyway, they came over, and all of a sudden they told me that they were from the Decanter magazine from London, England.
Oh my.
Very, very prestigious.
Yes,
mag-
yes, I should say.
And I said, what the heck they're trying to fool? Look at this guy, you know. But I actually was nice to them, you know.
Yeah.
And deep down in my head, what I was thinking, I says, nah, it can't be, all right? And it was until about 2 months later, a very good friend of mine that, she's from Missouri, actually. She was in Germany, and she's standing on near one newspaper stand over there to catch a cab, and she looks and she sees my picture in the front page of the Decanter, and she calls me from there, from Germany. And I said, well, this is a joke. If it's a joke, I can laugh with you, but that's a joke. She said, it's not a joke.
It's not a joke.
Well, 2 weeks later, my cousin from Italy calls. See, that magazine comes out in England. In England, it comes out in Europe about almost a month before it comes
to
out
the
here.
States.
And so they knew all about it. But finally, I got it through Barnes & Noble.
Right.
And they had it. And when I saw it, I said, son of a gun.
Well, now the people who are watching can read about you. They're seeing you on TV. Better yet, they can go to their favorite liquor stores and buy your wines and spirits. And Mike Fiore, it's been a pleasure.
The
talking
pleasure's
with you
all
today.
mine. Thank
It's been
you.
a pleasure. And so this is Ken Kidrowski, and now I'll probably be forced to drink more wine now. What can I say? Thank you for being with us here on location.